Hey girl, hey. So, um today I kind of want to talk. So, yeah. Okay. First of all, purple's my favorite color. So, of course I have purple sunglasses or purple glasses. So fresh. Um y'all know that I'm going to have a hair episode, right? Because obviously there's hair trauma. And so one of the things that I really wanted to kind of remind people, trauma looks different for everybody. And just because okay, so trauma looks different for everybody. And what you might think is trauma somebody might not think is trauma, and vice versa. And I think because when you say trauma, you think of, when people say, oh, I didn't have any trauma. Okay, I have a great example. I asked a friend about childhood trauma or whatever. I don't even remember how we got to this. But I asked her, and she was like, no, I didn't have any trauma. Both my parents were there. Nothing. I mean, my parents were there, but I mean, my dad was an alcoholic, and he used to beat my mom. That's childhood trauma. Well, but it didn't happen to me. Yes, I get that. Vicarious trauma, technically it did happen to you, but in a different way. And so what I am learning even more so in my own world and with books and things like that is what I might find a normal Monday, Susie might find a traumatic day. Maybe something didn't affect me the way it affected her. So we can't, yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go off on a tangent if I keep going, so we're gonna stop right there. So, I'd like to share a little bit about me and my blackness. So, I started dating, hanging out with my boyfriend. Okay, so let me back up. Him and I have known each other, my current boyfriend, and I have known each other for almost 20 years now. So we knew each other before my ex-husband and I got together. And we've been friends the whole time. He was the person that I would ask and he would always give like logical answers. He used to irritate my soul. He still does. I love him though. Yes. Man. I know I wanted to talk about this book. And we will. But I'm going to take a quick little commercial. So, one of the things that I find myself still struggling with is gassing up my significant other on social media. Because man, I can always tell when I am when I'm about to be vulnerable, because it like gets stuck. Because I realize, ooh, I would judge somebody for saying that out loud. I struggle with gassing up my current significant other because on social medias, because people who knew me with my ex-husband are still on my social media. And I don't ever want it to be felt that my ex-husband was just this terrible, horrible, no good, oh man, I can't remember what it is, very bad day. He wasn't. Did he have some issues? Yes. But don't we all? Yes. And I have forgiven him for things that he has done. I have forgiven, still working on that sometimes, myself for how I was during that time. I've had a lot of time for some self-reflection, and I use it. So when I say I've grown in the last 4 years, I asked for the divorce in 2019, and I moved out in 2019, and I've been on my own or living with friends since 2019. Yeah, September of 2019, August. And those people who know about how I left, I don't want them I don't know. It feels, I see it, man. I'm gonna keep it all honest with you. This little bit, I'm probably gonna cut out because I got stuck. And I'm gonna get unstuck by changing. I got stuck because I don't know where my head was going, because it started to go in different places, and this is not the path I wanted to take this time around. And sometimes there will be times where I will not take the path that I had originally planned on. So I picked up this book when my friend Amanda and I went to so I like books. I like reading books. So does my friend. So Amanda and I used to go to we took off time. Let me stop, because now I'm starting to like relive the fun stuff. We went to a bookstore, like a little mom and pop type bookstore, locally owned bookstore, like an hour and a half away. And I saw this book, and it said, it's I'm Still Here, Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness by Austin Channing Brown. If you've never read this, you should read it. It was my first real eye-opening moment. Nah, that's not true. I think my first embrace of my blackness probably didn't come till George Floyd. I think it was the right time at the right moment in the right circumstances, and that's when I started to really, I don't know, I saw my dad and how quickly that could flip. because Lord have mercy, y'all, my old man has a mouth on him. And I just like literally want to be like, Dad, shut up. Sheesh. Shut up, okay? You are intimidating as all get out. And then you add your voice. Shh. Anyway. So I even did a Black Lives Matter photo shoot with my friends and family. That was really fun. That was really not motivational, but just encouraging, and we talked about a lot of things. And then I got this book. And last year, while I was on medical leave from my hysterectomy, which obviously will be a conversation, I decided to read it. Maybe it was a good idea, maybe it wasn't. Because the hysterectomy is going to obviously be a whole episode all on its own, because that was a whole traumatic experience for me to begin with. I laugh about it now. Oh, but it's not funny. But anyway, so I was living through that. Nothing bad happened with surgery. Let me make that very clear. I am divorced, old. I'm not old. No children, and now I have to have a hysterectomy. So now I can't have any of my own biological children. Yeah. Oh, and I wanted to get it in before the end of the year because my previous surgery that I had a DNC scope, whatever, I don't even know what it was. I was still paying for it. Yeah, like, let's go ahead and just, like, this is what it is. Yeah. So then I decided to read this book. The first chapter is called White People Are Exhausting. I was like, what have I gotten myself into? And I read it and I started feeling her. I started understanding myself a little bit more about putting myself in this box because of what I've experienced in my life. I'm like, yes, my story's like this, kind of. And then I went to, well, okay, somebody else is already out here telling your story. You don't need to tell your story. I tried that. Like, I literally was like, yeah, I'm going to tell my story. And then it didn't happen. Because I was like, yeah, everybody, it ain't a thing. Also, still circles back to something else. So I didn't, nope, focus. Her parents named her Austin because it sounds like a white male's name. And when you put in your resume, all you have to show of who you are is a piece of paper and your name. The credentials and all of that, okay, that's good. But if you have a more unique name, like I do, you might get bypassed just off of assumptions. And she got into those rooms that many don't get to go into because her name was Austin. And she could tell when she went into the interviews that they were shocked to see a black woman because they were definitely expecting a white man. And so also, let me say that although I'm talking about racial stuff, I have microaggressions that I find that I didn't even realize I had. So I have some explicit biases, things I don't always realize are there until I'm like, ooh, that felt spicy. Y'all, my best friends, I literally was about to do that thing that I hate when white people do. I have a black friend. I was literally about to say, y'all, my best friends are white. It sounds just as ridiculous this way as it does the other way. Who cares? I can have white friends and still feel very strongly. You can still have black friends and still feel very strongly about things. Because also, it's not all black people or all white people or all this thing. So, anyway, I'm talking about becoming me. So I started to just like really dig into it and think about the things that I experienced when I was in school. When I was in both the Christian school, the public high school, and then when I went to the community college. And it's crazy listening, like thinking about the different versions. Especially when you see me now. You would never know. Yeah. If you haven't read that book, it's a good one. It made me more aware of things. It made me more aware of things in my own life. I really didn't want to talk about this book. I didn't want to talk about the book. I just want to share about the book. This is not like a book talk. This is me saying this book helped me start to embrace my blackness. Started to help me see, I've been experiencing a lot of microaggressions. Oh, wait a minute. I too have moments of microaggression. Ew. What? I'm not microaggressive. I'm just passive aggressive. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. Sometimes I'm passive aggressive. I really don't like passive aggressive. I'm working on it, y'all. The Lord's working on me. He really is. I'm also working. So I think that's it for today, because I'm not trying to have you here for forever. And obviously I could just talk all the time, because my brain starts thinking of, oh yeah, I want to talk about this and I want to talk about that. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm being that auntie again. All right, y'all. You know the drill. You are beautiful. You are amazing. And you are enough. Bye.